Greetings and salutations. How you doing today? Me, I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. You might be wondering why this seat back is sitting here on my table saw. No, I'm not going to cut it. I recovered these about 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago, and I recovered them before I got a parts car that had headrests. So I want to put these headrests in. Well, wow, that's really dirty. Well, that means that I'm going to have to take this seat cover off, and I'm going to show you how that's done. Late model cars usually just have a zipper. So you unzip a zipper and takes the seat back, a plastic piece off the back of a bucket seat or whatnot, and it gives you access to whatever fasteners are holding the seat cover on. But like for instance, in my Jeep, I don't remember if there was not, but I don't recall there being any hog rings. But these older cars, they use hog rings. And let me show you what a hog ring looks like. That's a hog ring. This is a hog ring plier. Spring loaded. And the hog ring pliers have a little end down there in the jaw that holds the hog ring. And then when you squeeze it, it closes on itself. And that's how these older seat covers are held on. When I parted out that other car, I thought I took everything I needed to be able to do this. It turns out I didn't. There's a couple of pieces that I missed. The detent that allows you to select one of 3 different elevations. As soon as I found that out, I went on eBay, and fortunately I found some, but I didn't. Actually, the aftermarket supplies all the hardware to be able to put a headrest on a bench seat car, but that hardware kit costs north of 150 bucks. I still want to throw $150 at this for headrests. I'd do without for the time being, but I made a couple of bits. I'll show you that in a minute, but let's first get started with taking this cover off. Okay, once you have the hog rings out, I like to pull them off and get them off the surface that I'm working on so I don't end up scratching the vinyl. But if you notice where these hog rings are right here, there's a wire inside there, and there's a wire inside this half, and those hog rings go between the wires and hold the back to the front. Let me get these hog rings out of here so I don't end up inadvertently damaging the cover itself. And then I'll pull the cover off, I just sounded really Canadian there for a minute. take this hardboard backing off. There should be 3 clips. I have an extra one over there. And these clips clip onto the wire in the back here. These 3 wires. Set this off the side. Don't lose the clips. This bag of hardware here is the top slide mechanism. Here's the trim ring. This goes on last. It goes on over top of the dealio like that, and that hides the hole that you're going to end up putting in the cover. But I need to take this piece of foam here off, and that's held on with D-rings as well. Here, 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 and that's what's holding that onto the frame. So I need to cut those hog rings, D-rings. I need to cut these hog rings off, and so I can get to the framing. Alright, once the hog rings are clipped, just peel this back out of the way. Again, make sure you remove all the broken pieces of hog ring. In this case, I had these foam bits that were here. This one was actually moved out of the way. It's not supposed to be there. And I'm kind of glad I did this now. Save these, set them aside. We'll put them on later. And then we're looking for are these holes right here, and this is where we got to mount that. This bit. One here and one here. I have 2 different fasteners here. Coarse threaded chrome Phillips screw and a fine thread, just a regular steel screw. And this is the one you want to fasten this on. It only takes 1 fastener. Probably can't see it here, but when that trim piece goes on over top of this, you'll use this chrome plated screw, and that'll go into the 2 screw holes here that are already stamped into the C-frame. And there's 1 hole right here that accepts this. I found 2 of these on eBay, and I paid handsomely for them, but it was considerably less than $170. So I what am I going to do about this? I could leave it off, then I'd have one side here that would be kind of floppy. I didn't want that, so I ended up making this, and this is just a piece of Delrin. That's about, I don't know, 7/16, maybe half an inch. I don't know, roughly 9/16 of an inch thick. It doesn't matter how thick it is, just that this is just big enough to fit one of these kind of snug. Alright, it looks pretty good. Now it's just got to put it all back together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these back on. For that I'm going to use some contact cement. I'm going to use a cheap brush. I'm just going to brush a fair amount onto the surfaces that I want stuck onto the seat frame. Then we'll let it set to the side and let it dry. Same thing with the little corner pieces. Let those set up to the side and dry. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to slather some on the seat frame itself. Now before I go and stick this on permanently, I want to mark any notches foam out where the stands are here for the headrest. You need to take about 5/8 of an inch off this edge here. Alright, smooth something like that. Starting with a corner piece. All right, and that's what it kind of should look like. Now I just need to take and reattach this with the hog rings. I like to find the center and start from the center and work my way to the outside edges. You can see right here where the cutout is for the for those plastic bits. I'm just going to take a utility knife and I'm going to cut through here. And I'm going to just remove the batting, like so. I think I'll just put that right down there. Slice through the burlap to gain access to the hole. That's what she said. Now you can put the back card back on. If you're getting new covers, what you might want to do is take these and put them in dry or in a medium setting for a couple of minutes just to soften them up. Even if it's summertime, you can throw these out on the driveway and let the sun heat them up so they're a little more pliable and they're easier to get on when they're a little bit warmer. Right now it's 91 degrees in the garage. I think it's plenty warm. Just take your time. Get it started on one side. More to the other side. Now, if things aren't exactly straight, you can kind of manipulate the cover by smacking it. It's a good way to get your frustrations out. Go straight and like beat the hell out of your seats. Alright, once the cover's back on, you're happy with the way it's fitting. Now it's time to hog ring it together. So again, starting at the middle and push the cushion into the two wires together and just hog ring them together. And then just work from there to the outside. Put a hog ring about every 3 or 4 inches or so. So now I have these little tails. Right. Here's the piping for the back. I'm going to tuck that underneath here like so. And then this flap comes off the side panel here, and it's meant to cover up this portion. So I take this and I pull it tight, and then I want to kind of wrap it at the leading edge around there. Get this thing suited here. Pull that on there like so. I'm going to wait until the seat's actually in, and I'll put the two halves, put these in. I'll mount the base in the car, then I'll put these on, and I want to make sure that everything lines up, all the piping and the stitch lines line up with the base before I go and punch holes in this. So if I need to manipulate this one way or the other, I can do that. So, and it's just too damn hot to do that today. So I'll do that tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Alright, as you can see, I got this seat back on the seat base, and these lines right here in the back didn't line up with the ones on in the base. And all I had to do was smack the cover a little bit and kind of move things over so the lines would line up. So I wanted to do that before I actually put the holes in the seat back for the headrest. Now I'll do the same thing over here. Hopefully you can see this piping here on the seat base does not line up with the piping here on the seat back. And the same thing for this stitch line. It's about 5/8 of an inch off with this stitch line, and this one here is about 1/2 inch off, or 3/8 from this stitch line. By moving the cover around on the back or the base, you can get those to line up pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's better. Okay, once you've determined that everything's kosher and you like it, then you can either get some help to put the seat in. But in my case, I'm going to take the seat backs back off because I haven't even put holes in the carpet yet where the seat belts and the seat mounts go. So it's easier to manipulate just the seat bottom as opposed to having an entire seat put together, you know, trying to fall over backwards on me while I'm working in a garage that is currently at 92 degrees. I'll put the headrest in right quick. Alright, this is where things can get kind of scary, because you know, you can screw up a $200 seat cover by making a mistake now. So you want to find and locate where the posts for the seat backs go, and I'm just gonna locate them with my thumb. Then I'm going to take and make sure that that's approximately where they need to go, and maybe I'll even kind of line it up like that to make sure that, yeah, that looks like where it goes. And then anytime you make a cut in this, there's no going back. So start small, take as little out as you need to, and don't screw this up. Now remember, that plastic piece that we screwed into the frame yesterday, this has to fit into the hole on the top of that plastic piece. And then these holes will line up with the holes that are in that plastic piece, and eventually it goes into the seat frame. You can't over tighten this to the extent you'll break the screw before you break anything else. But you need to cinch that down pretty tight. Just push it in place until you feel it fall into that hole. Then I use a screwdriver to kind of thread the screw in through the cover, and eventually it finds its way in through that plastic piece. Now in my case, the seat frame has never had these pieces in, so there's no threads cut into the steel. These screws are designed to cut threads into the steel frame of the seat. So just if your seat's like this and has never had a headrest in it before, just be patient. Don't go gorilla on it and end up snapping the screw, because then you'll have to undo everything to get the screw out. Just take your time, go slow. You'll eventually thread into that sheet metal frame. Just like that. Wow, that's nice. Okay, now all you need to do is the same thing on the other half. All right, that's all I got for today. Hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. I just want to qualify by saying I'm not a professional. I'm just an amateur that watched a professional do this and learned a thing or two, and I'm going to pass that on to you, so take it for what it is. What do you think? Does it look better with the headrest or without? Some prefer without. I like the headrest myself. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. I appreciate that. If you want to help this channel, the best thing you can do is smash that like button and share it with your vast social media network. I'd like to invite you this time to click the subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. And if you do, please click the little bell icon that's right next to it. That way YouTube will let you know next time I upload a video. If you'd like to support this channel and these projects, there's a few ways you can do that. By smashing the like button, that's free. I like free. Or by buying stuff on Amazon if you do that anyway. Check the links in the description for things that you might see in these videos. Or if you don't see anything you like in the description, go through one of those to get whatever it is you do want. There's a PayPal link. If you want to throw me a couple of bucks, I appreciate that. Or if you want to support this channel on a continual basis for as low as $3 a month, check Patreon out. If you can afford to do that, thank you in advance. And if you can't, we're probably related. So, until next time, you have fun, stay safe, shoot straight, keep it powder dry. Have a splendid day. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.